What is up here at Welchies? Aaron Halterman. It's Thursday, March 31st, final day of March. Halterman, welcome to Blinkers Off. What's up, man?
What's up, man? Arkansas Derby week. That's what it is. It's not the end of March. It's Arkansas Derby week.
I'm not going to get on board with this whole change, but at least it's April and at least it's the Arkansas Derby. And, it snowed here today in Missouri. So I think the weather is going to be like 70s in Hot Springs. So it's going to feel like, I hope, like an actual Arkansas Derby.
It's weird having the Arkansas Derby and the Florida Derby on the same day. Don't know that I like that. Don't like that. But We're here. We're ready. We're going to be there live. I got to go to Will Rogers on Monday, so I feel like I'm warmed up, and now I'm ready for Oaklawn.
How were the three people there? Are they good?
They were good. No, we counted 32 at one time, so that was good. Yeah, I saw some crazy things. The PA system went out, and so twice the race had started, and they were coming into the turn before we even knew they were running. So that was different. So yeah, it was a good time though.
You're like, oh shit, to bet that horse.
That's literally, I don't think my dad
ever.
Yeah, I don't think my dad ever would have saw the first time it happened. And I glanced up and I'm like, are those horses on the backside? And like he looked up, he's like, what are you talking about? And they almost hit the stretch before he knew the race was going off.
Hey, you know what? It would not be a day at Will Rogers without something like that happening. But that's part of the charm, right?
That's right.
You don't go that as long as you know what you're getting into. I think you oversold Will Rogers to me the first time we went. And so when I got there, I was disappointed because you oversold it. Now, had I known what it is, I think I could have enjoyed it more for what it was. But I was like, don't you remember? Like, I was like, that's it? Like, there it is right there. And you're like, yeah, that's it.
That's it.
Hey, it was fun though. It was fun. Yeah, no, big weekend. I don't like it either. It's weird because, we usually go of course, we haven't been to the Arkansas Derby. I haven't been in 2 years, I don't think. Yeah, I think it's been the year that Omaha Beach won the Arkansas Derby, right? 2019. Mm-hmm. So it's been 2 full Arkansas Derbies, 3 years total since I've been there. So it's crazy. But, I don't like, because usually the Florida Derby, it's like this is the right time for the Florida Derby, and so we're not like you're used to. Usually we're there most of the time, so it's weird having it. And it's 2 really good races, especially the Florida Derby. So it's kind of a bummer to have those. We'll be able to watch it there at Oaklawn, but it's not the same, right? We can't really enjoy it. Of course, it's going to be all jammed with what's going on in the stakes and stuff at Oaklawn as well. But dude. I mean, this weekend really I know we had a good performance last weekend with Epicenter and Louisiana Derby, but this weekend feels like, you're talking, the Florida Derby's loaded. You got the Philly and the Arkansas Derby and what she's going to do. Is she going to be on her way to the Kentucky Derby? Of course, you've got a couple, We the People, a couple, Cyberknife, some of those horses that are sort of unknown, like will they step up and run well in this kind of level? So to me, it's a weekend that you want when it. I know it's not great in terms of having them together, but it's the weekend you want for the Kentucky Derby. We're like next weekend. That's it.
Next weekend's going to be awesome as well. But you're right; these 2 are loaded. I don't know if the Derby's winner is running this weekend or not. Probably not, I think, but. Yeah, we got a lot. We just have so many stakes races all over the place and just really 2 interesting Derby preps. They're very different, both of these that we're going to talk about today, but they're also very, very intriguing. One has the more established horses. That would be Florida Derby. And one has I kind of talked about this with my dad on the show today. Arkansas Derby's like, I don't know, could be really good. Like we could be like, wow, though there was 1 or 2 horses really ran well, or we could be there Sunday morning, Saturday night, and being like, wow, these horses suck. They sucked all year, and they sucked again. Yeah,
I think you're right. I think the Florida Derby. I don't know. I think the Florida Derby has a chance of seeing the Derby winner. I'll say chance because I don't think any of those horses are like they're not going to surpass Epicenter for me right now. They're not surpassing Messier. But they're right there kind of on the cusp. And if one of those, the winner, say if it's whoever it is, Simplification, if it's White Barrio, whatever, like if they look impressive here, they're going to be right there with the rest of them, in my opinion, as far as those top-notch horses. And the same goes with, if Secret Oath rolls in the Arkansas Derby, if We the People rolls and looks really, really good. I mean, these are horses that have the ability to step up. And I'm with you. I don't know if we for sure will see the Derby winner. I mean, next weekend you got the Wood, the Bluegrass, and the Santa Anita Derby. So you're bound to see the Derby winner, right? This weekend or next weekend. You have to.
Or last weekend, one of those three. we may see it. Yeah, for sure.
Unless I'm talking about the Jeff Ruby, of course. I think.
Well, yeah,
we're gonna see the winner there. So
yeah, it's the bomb for sure. Gotta get a shout out to Dustin Jameson. He's on his way. He's driving right now with his brothers for a guys trip, listening to the weekend to prepare. Listen, he asked, where's the party at? Drew says the Ohio Club. Yeah, I can see it. I can see ourselves there. The Big Chill, that could be a place as well. We'll see, man. But I'm definitely going to guess Big Chill one night. Kelby said he's been going there. So not quite sure exactly where we're going, but I'm sure we'll be out both nights. So reach out, shout out, whether you're out or at the track. If you're heading down there, let us know. We'll try to meet up.
Magic says Derby winner could be ready this weekend or last weekend or maybe next weekend. That's true. I mean, we're here to predict things here for you, Magic, and that's a prediction. I mean, you can lock that up, right? Unless Epicenter draws post 1, 2, 3, he's my Derby pick. I think this next 2 weeks is going to be critical in terms of what we're going to see. As far as where Epicenter stands, Halterman, you and I both kind of had the same thoughts. We had Messier before last weekend happened. Epicenter obviously looked unbelievable in the Louisiana Derby. I mean, he could not have looked better, in my opinion. He bumped up to the one spot for both of us, and obviously we're waiting for Messier next weekend in the Santa Anita Derby. It's like, okay, now it's his turn to go out and prove, can he get that one spot back? I don't necessarily think any horses this weekend could bump up to that one spot over Epicenter, at least in my opinion. But next weekend, for sure, I think you could see that 1-2 kind of locked up in terms of if it's Messier or if it's Epicenter.
Epicenter's the leader in the clubhouse. He's already at Churchill Downs. He's taking it easy. He said, hey, I've done the dirty work, and I'll just wait for all you other losers to show up, right?
Yeah.
Listen, I don't anticipate Epicenter being overshadowed by any of these horses this weekend. I don't think it's impossible. And the reason I say that is I did not think Epicenter would run as well as he did. Yes, we both picked him last week, but I didn't think he would look that good and show a different dimension. And so listen, maybe we do see something similar. I wouldn't think so. I think Epicenter looks pretty darn strong right now. So we'll see, though. Like I said, Arkansas Derby, I wouldn't be surprised if anything happens there. Florida, we'll see. Like I said, I think there's 3 established horses. Not sure any of them are like Derby winners, but definitely contenders. Maybe one jumps up and surprises us this weekend.
Yeah. One thing, I don't know if you saw this today, the Baffert saga with the federal judge, because he got denied and then he went to another they appealed that. The federal judge today on Thursday granted Bob Baffert the preliminary injunction hearing for the trainer. So he's still trying to fight the Churchill Downs, but it sounds like it's not going to be anything prior to the Kentucky Derby.
Well, that's why last week on the show, we said, I can't tell you what's going to happen with him. And, we had one commenter very angry that, no, we will know. We will definitely know April 2nd or 4th. No, you won't. There's never a date for this. They've said that 6 times. It's just going to keep dragging on. And that's why, you were asking, where do you think the horses will be after the Derby? And it's like, maybe he's suspended. Maybe he's not. I don't know,
I know.
So
that's what does sound okay. So it does sound like that basically, I think April 15th is when they're now supposedly having the just assigned April 15th. This is all Pollock report. Or no, I'm sorry, Thoroughbred Daily News. The just assigned April 15th date for the hearing in the United States District Court will come 22 days before the Derby. Now, again, this could continue to battle on, and I don't know that's going to change anything. Some people thought, well, okay, we've got it locked down that he's not going to be the trainer for the Derby, but what happens for the Preakness? What if because obviously the issue is not I guess I should say it's more of when this suspension will start. When can he be put back on as the trainer? So, there are horses out there we always talk about Taba, but if that horse, that horse isn't one that got switched. So, if the Baffert situation if he's suspended, well, he can't run these horses. Or Yak Teen could be he could be going for the Triple Crown. I don't know.
Well, the deal is with Taba not being switched, he's not ready for a Derby prep. I think the thing they got to was okay, these next 2 weeks, if we're running horses in Derby preps, they got to switch.
We have to get
because
points.
Nothing's going to happen by then. Yeah.
Right.
Nothing's going to be settled by then for sure. So I think that's the deal. And Taba, as good as he looked, he's not pointed for a Derby prep just yet. So nothing wrong with Baffert running him in an allowance next. That means nothing, whether it's Baffert or anybody else that runs in that race.
But I do think no matter what, you're going to see the easiest answer. What you're probably going to see here is well, if he's suspended and he has a horse that's capable, he'll switch the trainer.
Yep.
If to what we've already seen, Yak Teen or Brissett, it's not going to be rocket science. If he's not suspended and he's able to run, say in the Preakness, the Messier will be switched back to Bob Baffert, and that's just pretty simple. He kind of showed how simple it was when he did this with these horses here. I don't necessarily think that's going to be all that hard to do. So yes, the decision here is interesting, but the bigger picture is I do feel like the horses that he wants to run in these certain races will be able to run in some way or another.
Yep. Yeah, they've got it all planned out, and we kind of speculated for months that they did. So, yeah, it's like I said, it really isn't rocket science. Hey, we can't run a horse in Derby preps this last weekend or last 2 weekends if Bob Baffert's name and earned points. Well, we better switch. But like you said, April 15th, if something magical happens, he'll have them right back. As soon as he can possibly have them back, he will have them back.
Right, and the Derby thing is like you say, for this certain, you have to because you can't just say, well, keep fighting it, and then Messier wins and Doppelganger wins, and it's well, guess what? The suspension got lifted, but your horse has never earned any points because you were suspended during that time period or whatever it is. So yeah, there's a reason to switch now, like you said. And these are all the horses, kind of your final push. Here are the final horses that we want to give shots or that are able to try right now for a Derby prep, and here they are. So that's why you see these trainer switches, and that's why you might see some moving forward. But we're not going to let Bob Baffert reign on this amazing weekend. Halter and I are getting up in the morning. We're heading to Oaklawn. Cannot wait for that. We got the guide. We're working on the guide, but we are ready for racing. So today's show, we will preview the two big ones, 2022 Road to the Kentucky Derby prep races Saturday, the $1.25 million Arkansas Derby for Oaklawn Park, and of course the $1 million Curlin Florida Derby at Gulfstream Park. Then we're going to give some more picks, rapid fire for the remaining Kentucky Derby and Kentucky Oaks prep races. Of course, you have the Jeff Ruby Stakes and the Fantasy and the Gulfstream Park Oaks. We're going to talk about all those as well on the undercards at Gulfstream, Oaklawn, and of course Turfway Park. Yeah, the Stakes. It's so good. It's so clever.
Yes.
Let's go.
Enjoy the drive down Highway 7. That's right. Can't wait.
There's no enjoyment out of that drive.
It's great. I love every second of it.
You do.
You get away from the world. You don't have any phone service. So
you literally get away from the world.
That's right. Just you and your buddies in the car, man. Doesn't get any better.
But I still say, you're one of these times you're going we're going to need service and we're not going to have it.
What's the worst that could happen?
Yeah, well, as long as I'm with you,
Yeah.
And your wife's with us, so chances are I can outrun at least one of you. So
it's true. She's in trouble.
I may not be as fast as I used to be, but I guarantee you, if someone's after me, I will go. There will be no stop. I'll blow
I
out a
believe
knee,
it.
maybe.
I believe it.
True or false? At least one member of the Racing Juice team has gotten special attention during a drive down to or from Oaklawn. And special attention is in quotation. So I think I know what he's talking about, but I can't tell.
Yeah.
I'm going to say true.
I don't know. I'm going to say false. Nope. True. Never mind.
True. All right. See some Arkansas Derby. What do you say?
What do you say? Let's do it.
All right. Oaklawn Park on Saturday. Of course, we have race 12, the Arkansas Derby, the $1.25 million Grade 1 Arkansas Derby, going off at 6:35 local time, going 1.18 miles. Of course, for 3-year-olds, Kentucky Derby. Points on the line, 140, 20, 10 for your top 4 finishers. And you have Doppelganger in the race, but he's not trained by Bob Baffert. So guess what? We can officially finally say his horses can earn Kentucky Derby points. 9 horses have entered the field. But guess who they're all going to have to beat here? Your 5-2 morning line favorite. Can you imagine I saying this to you? I mean, shit, even go back to like March. But can you imagine saying it like in January? Secret Oath, the filly for D. Wayne Lucas, is your 5-2 morning line favorite for the 2022 Arkansas Derby. Your turn.
Yeah, what a lead in, and we were talking about it earlier today. It's like that, this has to be his last good one. I mean, it just has to be, and I know we've said that before, but it just feels like this is it for Lucas, right? She's come out of absolute nowhere. The damn absent-minded, a horse Lucas trained as well, had all kinds of success at Oaklawn Park. Horses by Arrogant now passed away. It's limited amount of horses. I mean, this is a special horse to a lot of people. It's really, really quite incredible that D. Wayne Lucas has the favorite in the Arkansas Derby, and it's a filly. It really is. Man, she should win. I'll just start with that. I mean, she's got the numbers to win. She has the look of a horse that should be able to run faster than what she's earned so far by her speed figure wise or time form wise or whatever. She's got a pedigree that says 1 1/8 should be absolutely no problem whatsoever for her. A lot of people are saying she's beaten nothing, and that's true. None of these have beaten anybody. Look at who these horses have beat. Nothing. They've beat nobody. So that argument would make sense if she was in Florida, where she was facing horses that had won, prep races, had beaten good fields. Yes, I know Unoho won the Rebel. I don't care. It was a terrible race. On the same day, she ran a much faster race in the Honeybee. So she's beaten nobody. Neither is anybody else in this race. I think it's the perfect race to try a filly against the boys. I think it's the trainer that you want to do it. I got Secret Oath on top, Jared. I'm going with her. I didn't think I would. I'm going to go with her on top. I think she's the most likely winner.
I mean, how about I'll double up on my my intro there and say, can you imagine us both picking that said filly in the Arkansas Derby? And we are. I mean, I'm kind of with you here with everything you said. I get that she has hasn't beat anything, but shit, she's beat the shit out of every horse. Like you look at her last 3 efforts, she's won by like an average of 8 lengths each race. I mean, she just dominates and she's geared down. I mean, she just cruises. She's basically asked to run for that small time in that turn where she makes her run up there, and then after she gets by them, she's gone. And it's just so I don't even think we've seen the close to the bottom of her tank. And the one thing you can say a lot of things about D. Wayne, and rightfully so. He's been around forever. He's a legend. But dude, when he has a horse right, when he's got a good one, and especially past both fillies and males, but when he's got a horse right, like they run, they're going to run a lot and they're going to run well, and Secret Oath just kind of feels like you're going to get an effort out of her. And, to your point, yeah, if this is the Florida Derby field and throw in Secret Oath, I'm not picking Secret Oath, it just, cause that's too much to ask. But this, we've been saying it all year. This class at Oaklawn is awful. And now that's not to say like, we the people, I get it, Bree. Like I almost pull the trigger with We the People. I think that horse is the horse to me that if there's going to be an upset, quote unquote upset with the favorite, it's We the People, because that horse is similar in a regard that has been very dominant in his wins, is untested. Yes, he hasn't faced anything, but what do you need? I mean, this horse has been very, very good in both starts. Your issue with him is he's very lightly raced and, inexperienced. And you kind of wonder is he kind of like, I kind of, Cyberknife and We the People, are they like the Zozos who ran well, don't get me wrong, ran well at Louisiana last week, but kind of clearly was below that class, was below Epicenter, let's just say. So I do wonder how good these horses are, and that's kind of why I can land on the filly Secret Oath.
It was a good point. Pratt, definitely the more experienced jockey, but the horse is less experienced. So it's kind of a mix, right? Secret Oath may have not beaten anybody, but she's more experienced. She's been around longer. She's been in more races. I mean, We the People, honestly, it might be a horse at the end of the day that I end up betting in this race, because my biggest fear is the filly gets bet hard. And I'm not going to bet this filly if she's 6-5. It's just it's not going to happen. I'll root for her, but I'm not going to bet her. But if she gets bet hard, just think about it. All the locals are going to try to bet her. It's a filly, so that she's going to get just blind money. Oh, let's see if a girl can beat the boys. They always do. Right. Yep. She doesn't look bad on form, obviously, anyway. She deserves to be the favorite. If she gets pounded, all of a sudden, it creates a lot of value on that board. And We the People, I think, is one you're going to stare right in the face. And if you look up on that board and We the People's 4-1, you have to bet that horse. It's going to be an odd situation of, who do you want to win? What's the best feel-good story? And then it's like, well, this board is showing me that there's a couple of horses that shouldn't be the prices they are. That's my thought. But listen, I think it's a 2-horse race. I think We the People turns for home with the lead. He kind of makes that move and gets ahead. And then can Secret Oath run him down? I really think it's that simple. I don't have a lot of interest of anybody else in here besides maybe Cyberknife, just because I've been a sucker for him forever. But I don't know. I don't think he's great. I just think We the People, Secret Oath. I think that's the big one.
Well, that gets a good segue into the others, because let's talk about the horse that, to me, and if you listened to the show last week, like these are still Bob Baffert horses. We all know that this is a paper trainer, Tim Yaktine on paper, doppelganger, of course, being trained by Bob Baffert up until now. So this is kind of the shipper. And in normal years, Bob Baffert ships in the horse from, the West Coast. All of a sudden, this horse is probably going to win. He dominates the Arkansas Derby. He dominates the Rebel. But he hasn't had that luck this year. Of course, especially not with the Rebel. And Doppelganger is not one of his best. Messier is definitely that horse. Messier shows up here, maybe a different story. So he debuts and wins, but he's been just kind of underwhelming. San Vicente, he's 4th. San Felipe, he's 2nd, but never a threatening 2nd to Forbidden Kingdom. Forbidden Kingdom beat him both times. Forbidden Kingdom's a very good horse. So Doppelganger, what's your reasoning to not think this horse can win?
He doesn't have a lot of early speed, obviously. And then I think Secret Oath has a stronger closing kick than he does. And I just kind of think he reminds me a little bit of like, I'm trying to think of like the horse Sano had. I can't think of that horse's name now. A few years ago, Gunnevera. He reminds me of Gunnevera a little bit, where he just kind of clunks up, and he might hit the board again here. But I don't think he's going to win. I'll be really disappointed if he wins, because if he wins, what it tells me is all the other horses they're just not very good. Like a really good horse or even a decent horse should be able to beat Doppelganger. Now, this is an easier spot. I think it sets up a lot better for him than the last 2 races he's been in. So maybe he can, run a little bit better, turn the tables. But to me, if he wins, it's kind of going to be disappointing.
How about the fact that, and I know you're getting John Velasquez, so it's not like a huge issue there, but Pratt, his road, this horse, every start is on We the People.
Yeah.
Which is, Giroux's rode that We the People every time. Now Giroux's on Cyberknife, so a lot of jockeying there, pun intended. But yeah, it is definitely an interesting take that Pratt switches over to We the People over Doppelganger. To me, Doppelganger is an easy key him in your third and fourth spots, honestly, and maybe second if you want. Just because I feel like he's gonna give you a run up there, and he he saw it. He ran, he tried hard in San Felipe. He gave an effort, but it clearly was no match for how that race unfolded, and also how how good Forbidden Kingdom is. And you go back to even the San Vicente, he ran pretty much the same race. He just never, he didn't beat Pinehurst, he didn't beat McLaren Vale. Like it just. I don't know. I think Doppelganger is slightly overrated. So to me, he's on my underneath, but not on top. I'm with you. I think it's a 2-horse race. Cyberknife, I agree. He's won. And that 8-1 too. You talked about We the People, if he floats up. Well, if Cyberknife sits there at 8-1, he's interesting. He's he's a tough one to read. He was not, you kind of wonder, well, okay, was it the Lecomte? Because he was almost too bad to believe that day. Mm-hmm. I know that he got beat by Epicenter and Call Me Midnight, who freaked that day, but Epicenter, who's very, obviously very good, but he wasn't even close. He never even ran really. And then he comes back off that effort and looks really good at Fairgrounds, and he's looked good in the races prior to that Lecomte. So he's one of those that, to me, out of the horses that I'm quote unquote interested in, he's the one. If he won, I would be pissed. And if I didn't include, because to me, Brad Cox, Flo, he's a big gun runner, purchase horse who's shown the ability to kind of stalk and pounce. And so if he were to win, you kind of be like, dude, really? So if you can, I don't hate including him, like say in a multi.
Agree. Yeah, I mean, I've talked about him on a variety of our shows for months, and it's a really good spot for him. Well, last week was not his spot. That was, he didn't need to bang heads against Epicenter, but if he's going to figure it out, this is a good time to do it and in a good spot to do it. It's a shorter field. He's got early enough speed. He can get away from a lot of the horses here. I hate betting on a horse that is having problems getting it all figured out in a grade 1 race. That's the bad thing, but I'm not going to be shocked if he wins. I think the talent is there with this horse.
All right. I'm going to say, gosh, because he's got points. 3.5. It could be higher, but I'll go 3.5 is the over under for horses out of the Arkansas Derby who will run in the Kentucky Derby. So 3.5 is my number.
It really shouldn't be, but it probably will end up being, because Barber Road is probably going to be able to get in. Unoho is already in. Choke that down. I don't think either of them are going to win. So whoever wins is 3. I don't think either of them are going to get second necessarily. So there's 4. I think it's going to go over. I don't think it deserves to go over, but I think it will.
Yeah, it is. That's I know that it's an interesting, and it's definitely a fun field with the filly, but having 4 horses out of this race make it to the Kentucky Derby doesn't seem great. But like you said, you have really your top 2 finishers we'll go top 3 because Ethereal Road's going to run in the Bluegrass, but out of that Rebel, that are all going to eat up points. Of course, he's going to eat up points because he's already got some points for next week. But yeah, I mean, I agree. I think 4 is the number. I do think, I want to say, I think the more it's gone on in the last quotes from Dwayne. If Secret Oath wins, I do think she will end up in the Kentucky Derby. So she has no. That's another interesting thing. Secret Oath, no points. We the people, no points. Cyberknife, no points. These are horses who have no points on that list currently, who we all really like, or we definitely like at least two of those, and they're going to eat. And if 140, boom, there's two horses that have jumped up into and knocked two other horses out at least. So, and like you say, Anuho has already got points. He's in. There's three. It's not going to be, doppelganger. Someone's going to, it's not going to be hard for another Barber Road. Not going to be hard for these horses to get up there. So, yeah, I will say over the 3.5. All right. Dudes will be live. If you're going to be there, if anybody's going to be, at Oaklawn Park, make sure you hit us up. Aaron and I will be there live to watch, hopefully, the filly for Dwayne Lucas win the Arkansas Derby. I'm going to be nervous for this one just because I do want her to win.
Yeah. Yeah. Nervous and also realistic that, Philly beating the boys is tough, but gosh, it's not nerves like, she'll, whatever. She probably won't win. It's like legitimately she could win. Right. So
Mark's going to be at Fairmount Park. There you go. Cheering on the filly.
Very cool. Very cool. They'll be open in about a month and a half, I guess. Yeah, about a month.
All right, let's go to this one.
Okay,
I think this is an okay race. All right. The other big prep of the day, of course, race 14. We'll go to Gulfstream Park for this one, the Curlin Florida Derby, the $1 million race for 3-year-olds. Going to mile and eighth, of course. This is a Kentucky Derby prep race, 140, 2010. See how many times I can say, of course, as well. 140, 2010 for your top 4 finishers. And I did the preview for this on our YouTube page with Magic earlier. And I really think this is the race of the year in terms of what we've seen so far for 3-year-olds, any 3-year-old kind of prep, 3-year-old race period. This race is loaded. Field of 11 for the Florida Derby, 5-2 on simplification, well deserving. But you've got, Classic Causeway who's opted to run here versus the Bluegrass at 7-2, 7-2 on Charge It. Can Pletcher finally get a horse, one of these 3-year-olds, to finally run well? 3-1 on White Abarrio. White Abarrio is a horse that is coming in, has not ran since he was dominant last out in the Holy Bull. Took the time off. Of course, he beat Simplification. Simplification came back to win the Fountain of Youth. Boom, here they are, the rematch. Halterman, this is I kind of alluded to this earlier. I don't know that you have like a superstar horse in here yet, but I think come following the race, I think it's very, very possible we might have one.
Yeah, the winner of this race is probably going to have the best, like, quote unquote, resume as far as who have you beaten, right? Because there's some heavy hitters in here. The Tampa Bay Derby winner's in here, the Holy Bull winner, and the Fountain of Youth winner. Well, what more could you want for the Florida Derby, the final prep in South Florida? Absolutely a astonishing race, right? Listen, I don't think it's that complicated, though. If White Barrio runs like he did in the Holy Bull, I think he'll beat him. And I don't think it'll be all that, questionable coming into the stretch. I think he'll just kind of gallop away from him. It's really that simple.
He was that good. I agree. He was that good in the Holy Bull. He's really been great. And even in the Jockey Club, Kentucky Jockey Club, where he got beat by Smile Happy and Classic Causeway as a 2-year-old, he didn't have a great trip, and I don't think he would have won, but I definitely think he would have been a little closer in that effort. To me, he's a legit horse, and I don't know that I can pick him, to win the Kentucky Derby. But if he runs like I think he's going to, he will be the Florida Derby winner. I think the race, he draws out a little bit, draws up, 7 posts. He's good. He's got plenty of speed, but he, if he runs like he did in the Holy Bull, he can kind of sit off of that a little bit. Charge It is a horse who is interested in is interesting, and he's into is out inside there. Luis Saez is there aboard, and that horse is going to go. Classic Causeway, is going to go. Simplification, who knows? I mean, we've seen multiple styles from him. It's possible that he go. There's a lot of early pace in this race, and I think it makes for the perfect trip for White Barrio.
It looks to me like Classic Causeway and Charge It are going to go out there, and White Barrio is going to sit in third and sit right there. And honestly, I don't think he'll have trouble getting by those two. And that's not any disrespect. It's just I think he's a little better than those two. And I think if they're out there, especially if they're knocking heads, it just sets up absolutely perfect to me. And the horse that I have a ton of respect for and but as far as betting, it's just I get really frustrated with is Simplification. It's not often a horse can set the pace going 6 furlongs and a mile and then goes to 2-turn races and comes from the clouds. If he shows his speed, not only can he get up there with White Barrio, he can get ahead of him and have a tactical advantage, but it's hard to think he's going to do that after what he's done the last 2 races, right? So it's really odd. He's such an odd one. If I'm going to be really mad if he's able to get positioning in this race and still kind of kick home like that, because I'm picking White Barrio with the thought of he'll just get the jump on Simplification. It'll be kind of similar to the Holy Bull where Simplification runs really well, but he can't catch up with a horse that's 4 or 5 lengths ahead of him and kicking on. I don't know. He's the wild card. You just don't know what he's going to do. But again, I'm not really worried about Charge It. Classic Causeway, kind of a prove it race to me, right? Like we saw him as a 2-year-old. He was good, not great. He went over to Tampa. He dominated. Nothing behind him. Don't even make the comments of what was behind him. There was nothing behind him. So now he's got horses that can legitimately close, whether it be from a stocking standpoint in White Barrio or the deep closer in Simplification. Now's the test. I'm not going to be shocked at all if he wins it, but I really have no idea how good he really is. And there's no way of really knowing from those Tampa races. If he goes gate to wire again, I'm not going to be shocked because he's looked really, really good, but he gets the acid test in this race. He's really interesting, and he's a really good measuring stick as well here. So this will be, kind of fascinating to see what he does.
When you go through this race, I think for all the main contenders, it is very, it is a little frustrating just in terms of. You look at these horses and they all kind of have an excuse or have a reason to not necessarily be super thrilled with the horse. Classic Causeway has looked good. His numbers have come back very weak, and it's been at Tampa, and he hasn't beaten anything. So you have that. Simplification. He looked awesome in the Fountain Youth, but he also got beaten in the Holy Bull, and he also is frustrating in a sense of you don't know what style you're going to get from him. Is he going to miss a break? Is he going to intentionally miss a break? So you just he's one, and with me, and this is me personally. Like I can't, even though I like the horse, and he's a gutty horse, and he's obviously very, very effective with what he does. I just can't quite get on board with him. I don't know why. I certainly not for the Kentucky Derby. Charge It. Shit. What else? Where are you going to start with him? He's never raced 2 turns. He's going from a maiden special weight. Todd Pletcher can't win a race with a 3-year-old. I mean, the list goes on. And then White Barrio, awesome last time out. But the Jockey Club, he wasn't great. I mean, he definitely improved greatly from that last year to this year. So, you know what I mean? Like all these horses kind of have. It is a little bit of a prove it race for a lot of them. And to be honest with you, and you might disagree with this. There's the only horse out of this race, unless White Barrio or someone just romps, and then I'm, you'll be forced to kind of reckon with that in Kentucky. The only horse that I think has the potential for me to be like, have the epicenter, like, oh, okay, I need to get real about epicenter, is Charge It. And I don't know that it's going to happen, but if he does do it, if he goes and wins this race from a maiden special weight to that and beats a good quality group, I think you have to take him extremely seriously, especially when you consider how bad Pletcher has been with these 3-year-olds.
It would be surprising based on what we've seen week after week. And
Oh,
yeah,
I
you're right.
agree.
He certainly would get a ton of respect for it. And I think in that regard, the Classic Causeway, if he goes gate to wire, certainly would get a lot of respect as well, right?
Yeah.
Because the Tampa winner to come over here and to beat all the horses that have been at Gulfstream and looking great all year, wow, what a feather in the cap that would be to his camp, you know? So yeah, no, I see where you're coming with that a little bit. Another thing I want to point out about simplification, never won 2 races in a row. And you know why? Because he's goofy. Like he blows
Can't
out a
trust him.
maiden by 16. He's 1-5 in allowance. He gets third, right? Then he goes and wins a big stakes. Then he has always been up on the pace, and then he breaks terrible, and he's last in the Holy Bowl. Then he's last again. You know what I mean? It's just like he's just kind of a goofy horse. He's not reliable.
Yeah, and really it's shown, because other than he got, I guess he got bet down right there at the end in the Fountain of Youth, but he's normally kind of in that 4-1 range, 3-1 range. Early on, he was of course getting bet. Classic Causeway is another one. I think you're right. He's one that if he can go out and say he goes out and gets to the lead and rolls again, right, and just kind of rolls, then you're like, okay, like. He maybe wasn't beating anything in Tampa. Maybe those races came back slow, but he's clearly very good at what he does on the front end. So yeah, I think he has the potential to be a legit contender following and by the way, Mark asked this question about the 3-week. He's off a 3-week layoff. He's like, oh, didn't he just run? Yeah, I mean, he just ran the Tampa Bay Derby. The plan was to run the Bluegrass, and then the word came out they were going to run here, and Lynch is like, yeah, like it's a lot to ask this horse to ship to Kentucky to run another prep. We're already here. We're just down, we might as well just run them here. And then the goal isn't this race. The goal is obviously the Kentucky Derby. They basically just need one more race into him. They want those 3 races into him before the Kentucky Derby. So that's the concern, I think, because it's like, it kind of feels like it's a little forced, like we just needed to run them. We're close by. We're going to run them here and see, basically get one more race under his belt before the Kentucky Derby.
I think it was just more of like I said, they're stabled there. He's doing really well. Let's throw him in there and give it a shot. Now, I will say this. The projected field for the Bluegrass, I think he would have a much, not to say he doesn't have a good chance here, because I think he does, but I think the chances would be better that he would win the Bluegrass. I think there's a little bit weaker horse in the Bluegrass, or maybe just like a field that could go one way or the other. Where here, it's like, yeah, we kind of know Wide Barrio is probably going to show up, run well. Even if simplification breaks poorly, he's still going to make you earn it, on the front end. You're not going to, you can't stop. Where the Bluegrass, it's like, yeah, Smile Happy at this point, I don't really know. Zandon, who knows? I think Classic Causeway would have a early speed advantage as well in that race. Where here, you got to deal with Charge It, and that he could be a problem.
All right. You know what time it is.
It is.
It is. It's that time. Trying to go through the numbers here. Classics in, simplification's already in. Wide Barrio's not in, surprisingly, and Charge It definitely is not, obviously. So let's go. I'll do 3.5. Well, no. Yeah, 3.5. I'll keep it. Do 3.5 again for the Florida Derby.
I'll take over. I said
4.5. Would you say under?
I would go under. I think it's 4. Simplification, Classic Causeway, Wide Barrio, I think will be in it. I think a horse like Captain, who got 3rd last time out, maybe he gets up for 4th and is able to make it. Maybe he gets 3rd. I think a horse like that sneaks in. It usually happens that way in this race. You got a horse like Strike Hard. Maybe he can, sneak up, hit the board, and get in. So yeah, I'm going to go over.
Yeah, I don't think it's. I think 4. This one feels like, whereas the Arkansas Derby, you're like, well, 4, but they don't need to be 4. This one feels like there needs to be 4. Yeah. Classic Causeway obviously needs to be there. Simplification, those are in. And yeah, I mean, I guess Charge It is the one that if he just runs like shit, you're just you're like, well, forget it, so he's out. But if he rolls or gives a good gutty effort, then yeah, he definitely belongs in the mix. And then White Barrio, and I agree. I think O Captain is. I kind of mentioned him on the preview. I think he's interesting from a underneath perspective. Just he was a huge price. You're gonna need a lot of that 20-1, in my opinion. But he's never been worse than third. He's never a threatening third, but those last two, he just kind of clunks up there and picks up a paycheck. So to me, he could definitely get in there and pick up some garbage points, so to speak. And gosh, Captain or Onuno, who would you like to bet more in the Kentucky Derby?
I don't know. Captain, I guess.
All right. He's not picking Captain, but just to be clear. We're both on, actually. Number 7, White Barrio to win the Florida Derby. We did, Evan. We did talk about the Arkansas Derby just a little bit ago. Prior to this, so you can rewind that to listen after we're done. And we'll go back to Oaklawn here in a second for a few more races. We'll go to the fantasy. We'll do the Gulfstream Park Oaks, and we'll do the Jeff Ruby. So we're not done, but we are done with the Arkansas Derby. Let's go to the Gulfstream Park Oaks right here. Let's see here. Yeah, this is. I don't know that these are the best races, but they are some sort of serious contenders, I guess, and a few of them.
Sure.
I mean, Kathleen, no.
Well, that's true. Yeah, as far as contenders go, yeah. But go ahead.
Definitely not the Jeff Ruby or
no
the fantasy. Now that you have no Ida or Secret Oath's not running there, so makes it a little less appealing. But all right. Time for rapid fire, presented by the Inside Track to the 2022 Florida Derby. That's right. Go get it right now. Get the all-inclusive wager guide to the 2022 Florida Derby. This Saturday, April 2nd at Gulfstream Park features in-depth analysis of all 10 stakes on the card, including, of course, the $1 million Curlin Florida Derby that we just talked about. You'll get race-by-race analysis, betting suggestions, and multi-race plays for the entire Gulfstream Park Saturday card. But there's more. You get the Inside Track. You will also get bonus stakes analysis from the $1.25 million Arkansas Derby and $600,000 fantasy stakes that we'll talk about here in just a second, Oaklawn Park, as well as our top 4 consensus picks for 12 stakes races. It feels like a Breeders' Cup for as many races that were covered. Top 4 consensus from all the expert handicappers at racingdudes.com. Go get your hands on that right now on our products page at racingdudes.com. You get that for free as well if you are a Racing Dudes premium subscriber. Let's stay at Gulfstream Park. We'll go back to Oaklawn in a second. Gulfstream Park, race 12. Earlier there on the card, the Gulfstream Park Oaks, grade 2, 250K, Phillies 3-year-olds going to 1 1/16 miles. Again, Kentucky Oaks prep race, 140, 20, 10. Field of 7, Halterman. 4 to 5, though, heavy favorite. 7 horse, Kathleen O for Shug. Castellano, 9 to 5, the other, I guess, threatening horse. 5, Goddess of Fire, Leah Saez, Todd Pletcher. But 4 to 5, heavy favorite on Kathleen O.
I mean, she shouldn't lose. I guess Castellano could do something dumb. That's always possible. But stretching out actually should be better for her than the one-turn races she's been dominating in. I don't care that there's no pace. She's going to win. Like I there's just no way I'm going to pick anybody else in this. This is a horrific group once you get past her. I mean, Goddess of Fire is 9 to 5, second choice, exiting one of the worst Kentucky Oaks prep races ever until they drew this race.
And we saw how, who beat her, turn her loose. We saw how she came back.
Yeah.
Goddess of Fire at 9 to 5 is sickening. Kathleen, I get there's no pace, but don't overthink it, right? I mean, I think she's just going to, I don't know if she has to leave second gear ever.
Well, and people talking about the 2 horse, so how the 2 could go gate the wire. The 2, when racing on the dirt, has never even sniffed the lead. The 2 before that last race had never been on the lead. She just fell out on the lead that time and took it and won. But that doesn't mean, that she's some kind of speedball that can now go from synthetic over to the dirt if she was going to run in this race and take him gate to wire. It's not really, I don't think it's feasible. To me, like, I think the 1 from the rail probably tries to go out there, but maybe the 6. But I mean, it is the definition of cheap speed. The 6 is coming out of a maiden claiming race. If that horse beats Kathleen O, she's going to need a 12-length head start. I mean, these horses are terrible. I guess the Pletcher horse is the one, right, that could, but I just don't think that horse is any good at all. Kathleen O, it's also second race off a layoff. Really, she should build on what she did last time out. I don't think it'll be hard for her.
I think she could even be a little bit more forwardly placed than she's been, just because I don't like it unless like the 2 just goes way too fast and just blazes. But she's not only she's the class of the race, but she's the talent of the race, and it's not really close. Mark says Hidden Connection came out of the Rachel Alexandra and ran well. I mean, come on.
No, she didn't, because if she ran well, she would have won. I'm sorry. She had the whole fairground stretch to try to pass a horse who was begging to be passed, and she wouldn't do it. So I don't think she ran well at all last week.
By the way, the fact that Adair Manor is now not with Bob Baffert, there's your Oaks winner. Sorry, Echo Zulu, but unless Adair Manor just cannot run outside of Santa Anita, or West Coast, because I was not impressed. I know Echo Zulu has every right to improve off of that effort.
Yeah,
but come on, I thought she was a little bit disappointing. And I texted you right after the race. I was like, thank goodness that was Hidden Connection trying to run her down, because otherwise she ain't holding on. I thought she was beat the whole race, the whole length of the stretch.
Listen,
I thought she was beat.
I like Echo Zulu a lot. I love Echo Zulu. Never picked against her. She didn't run very well, and she had a good reason to. I get it. I'm not here to debate what's she going to do. We all have our own money we can bet. I don't think I'm going to take her in the Oaks, but imagine if like Secret Oath was in that race. She would have won by like 6 and not even had to do anything different than she's done at Oaklawn.
Yeah.
I mean, they didn't run very well, period. I mean, Hidden Connection has no excuse. Every time it's like, oh, she was wide. Well, shit. She didn't break well. Okay. Like, shit. Like in the Breeders' Cup, I was like, well, just scratch that off. She didn't break well. It's like, she stumbled just a second and she got 4th, beaten like 20 lengths. I don't care. Like, she would have got 2nd, beaten like 5 or 6. Like, okay, she ran well. She didn't run well. She didn't. And she's bet every time. And it's crazy.
I know. I'm sick of Hidden Connection. I've never lived down the fact that I've changed my pick from Echo Zulu to her in the Breeders' Cup. And ever since then, I'm like, fuck that horse. I'm sick of her.
Yes.
And so I was rooting for Echo Zulu, obviously, last week, because I had her. And then otherwise, I was like, do not tell me that Hidden Connection finally beats me here, like the how she runs. But no, of course not. She couldn't get by her. Yeah. So that's par for the course. All right, let's go to the next one here. Let's go another Oaks prep, but we'll go back to Oaklawn Park on Saturday, race 10, the Fantasy Stakes, grade 3. 600K, Phillies 3-year-olds going 1 and 1/16 miles. Again, Kentucky Oaks prep, 140, 20, 10 for your top 4 finishers. Fill of 9 lines up for this one, Halterman. And actually, it's going to be down to a fill of 8, I guess, with Ida supposedly got a fever, going to be out. Bob Baffert, he can still run horses, in this race. And so, but can't happen, not running, got a fever. She seemed like a logical horse to win here. I wasn't really overthinking that one. She seemed very doable. And then he has no Secret Oath because she's running in the Arkansas Derby. So all of a sudden you have a field in 8 that is really kind of looking for, it's like, Bubble Rock at 3-1 and Gary at 4-1. And these horses, and these odds are going to be different because you have Ida, who's the 2-1 morning line favorite. These odds are going to be, vastly different now with her out. So, dude, who the hell's going to win this one?
Yeah.
And furthermore, does it mean anything? Because is this race really a good prep for the Oaks?
Does it mean anything is a definite no. It's going to be a really good race. I don't, like I said, the prices are all going to change. And Art says Dreamlith, and I kind of like that horse as well, but I'm afraid she's the one that is going to
Art.
take a lot of money here, right?
I know. I'm worried about that.
But I do like Dreamlith here. I'm not talking you off of that horse. I went with kind of a wild one. I went with the number 8 Hardy Constitution. This horse is 12-1 on the morning line. Don't think you're going to get that. But boy, on debut, ran 6 furlong, maiden special weight. Didn't run too bad. Got third. Really woke up last time out. Ran very well. Broke the maiden by 2 3/4. I know stretching out and taking on stakes company for the first time is scary, but we've kind of highlighted that we don't think this field's very good. And her pedigree says 2 turns should be right up her alley. And I like a horse that has sprint speed and then stretches out for the first time going a mile 16th. I always tend to lean towards horses like that. I wouldn't pick this horse if the field was very strong. Let me be clear, but I'll take a shot with number 8 Hardy Constitution. I think this horse will give you an effort. I think she's going to give us a thrill. She's going to be up towards the lead. I think she's able to kick on. And I think if she can get that lead, turn it for home, I don't see a ton of really good horses in this race that can run her down. So hopefully she gets the trip that I'm envisioning. I'll take a shot with her at 12-1.
This one is tough. You're gonna have to just really watch these odds closely. Playing the multi is going to be real tricky because you're going to have to do a lot of speculating. And obviously the start of the pick 4, being here is handy. But if you're playing that pick 5, you're going to have to kind of guess what these odds are going to be here and what you're going to get, because it makes it interesting with Ida being out. And of course, how these horses are going to be bet. Dreamlith, it's funny. We just talked about that Rachel and, shitting on it. This horse was beaten 6, and here I am picking Dreamlith to win. So to me, it's that kind of race. I'm hoping the change of scenery is going to do her well, right? She's not good at fairgrounds last time out in the Rachel, but she did win the Goldenrod. She is capable. That's the thing. She's capable of winning, winning good races. She just also is very capable of putting up just big goose eggs. And you go back and you look at that Rachel Alexander, she never really picked up her feet. Goldenrod, she came flying late and looked good. She put up a bullet work last out at Oaklawn Park. Let's hope that she likes the track here at Oaklawn. Diodoro, and Vasquez hit at 32%. Obviously they're very, very good together. Diodoro's been good. No doubt about that. So I don't know. If this horse is bet like at 3-1, I have little interest. I'm with you a little bit on the 8 Hardy Constitution. That was my second choice. So I like that. If that horse is anywhere in that 12-1 range, 10-1. I love that price stretching out. I think you're gonna. Bubble Rock is a lot of people's horses here. This horse has never ran on dirt. I get it's Brad Cox, Santana, and Brissett's gonna have to beat me. I'll keep betting against him in the graded stakes.
Bubble Rock, I picked that horse to win the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Affiliate Mare Turf. And she had been a horse that had kind of been close to the lead going one turn. And I thought, if she gets out to the lead, they might have a hard time catching that horse. She broke dead last and was like 13th.
It stayed last the whole time.
Yeah. Listen. Horse came back and ran pretty well. First time out this year didn't run too well. The last time out ran pretty well. Beat Marissa's Lady at Turfway. Not a bad horse. Any other race, I would say no chance. But this is a weird race, right? Like she could win here, but don't take her serious on the dirt if she just wins this one. Like make her prove it to you again is what I'm going to tell people.
Yeah, there's not a lot out of this one that I'm super interested in as it relates to the Kentucky Oaks. Let's just put it that way. But it's part of the sequence, and I think that's one that you can try to get a price home if you're lucky. But you and I obviously kind of trying that with Dreamlith at 8-1 and Hardy Constitution, the 8 horse at 12-1. All right, let's go to another. It's hard to believe we say this is the last one we're talking about. It's in rapid fire, and it's 100-point Kentucky Derby prep race, but you'll find out why in a second. Race 12 at Turfway Park Saturday, the Jeff Ruby Stakes. Grade 3, 600K, 1 1/8 miles on the all-weather track. And again, I didn't make the rules, guys. 140, 20, 10. Top 4 finishers. Hey, you win here, you're in the Derby. You get second, guess what? You're still in the Derby. It's crazy, but that's where we're at. 12 horses are in here. Blackadder, 15-1 morning line. The recent switch from Bob Baffert to Brissett. You've got Tiz the Bomb, who, after all the talk, where's he going? He's going to run him in the Florida Derby. No, he's going to run him here. He's going to run him at Bluegrass. Nope, we're back on the synthetic. Tiz the Bomb, 2-1, McPeak. Is this one ultimate that you're going to try to beat? You're going to just suck it down and say, you know what? He's probably going to win because these horses are garbage. You still don't take him through it. I mean, how could you? I hope he does win because he is going to take money in the Kentucky Derby.
Yeah, absolutely. People will bet Tiz the Bomb, so we probably all should be rooting for him in this race, or at least get second. That would even be funnier if he got second. Why is Blackadder 15-1?
I don't know. I read it like 3 times. And I thought that's got to be wrong.
Surely that's gonna maybe
this horse has never been lower or higher than 4-1 in any of his 4 starts. He just won the El Camino. He was with Bob Baffert. I get, that there's a trainer switch, but how does this horse not? I mean, that first click 15-1, it will be like 7-2.
Yeah, he's 15-1, and he won, like you said, on a synthetic surface, going this distance, and beat a horse in McKinnon, who, if he was entered here, I would think would have a pretty good shot. I mean, he's a pretty nice horse. I like 2 horses, and they're both double-digit prices. The 12 Blackadder at 15-1, sure. And then what about the 1 Royal Spirit for Todd Pletcher? I kind of like that horse. It took a little while, took 4 races to break the maiden, did it, then went straight to a stakes, first time going 2 turns, and got second, only beating the neck, and had that race and just got passed late by Grand Sonata. It's a guess that he's going to like, the synthetic, but, turf horse, usually they transfer decently. I like Royal Spirit as well. So I like a 10-1 and a 15-1 in this shot, or in this race.
I think you get the 10-1. I don't know if you're going to get the 15-1.
No.
But no, I like the 1-2 a little bit. I think, obviously it's a question mark of what he'll do going to dirt or synthetic from the turf, as you mentioned. But Pletcher hits at a good percentage at 25% turf to synthetic. It doesn't happen all that often for Pletcher, so that is a pretty good angle there. I went against everything because I don't think you should. I mean, I think you should demand a price in this race, but at the same time, I'm trying to pick a winner, and I kind of keep thinking Stolen Base is going to win. This just barely missed last time out in that Battaglia 2, Tiz the Bomb, stretching out here longer. A Bodemeister horse who was a big purchase price for Maker 3 Diamonds Farm. You're getting that stretch out a little bit. I mean, the horse first trial synthetic, very good, should improve a little bit here as well. And it kind of seems like a race that Maker could win,
Yep.
It feels like that kind of race. So I'll play Stolen Base, but I do think you've got to play these other ones. If you're playing multis, I think just goes deep as you want. That's what she said. But I think you need to. And if you're playing exotics, you got to try to get sneaky with some of these. And, maybe you play the 2, but you play the 1-2 on top, or you play the 1-2, Blackadder, depending on what his price is, but I do think if Blackadder is at 10-1, anything north of 10-1, well, wake me up or something. I don't know how that horse would be that, but come on.
Wake me up.
He's got to be, I think he's going to be like second choice, third choice, right? I mean, okay, obviously Tiz the Bomb will be the favorite. No shock there. Who else is going to take? I mean, Stolen Base will take some money. Who else?
I thought he would be like the second or third, like you said. I think he'll be like 4-1 or 5-1, right?
Yeah, I think at least. I mean, if not lower. So, and I think there's got to be at least something. And I get that, like, doesn't necessarily mean that all these horses are like anything that Baffert switched over means they're really, really good. That just means they're ready to run. But I'm not sure you're going to waste the time with Blackadder, even, if you don't think the horse is at least going to have a chance to win a race like this. And come on, I mean, wouldn't be shocking at all to see him do it, right?
No,
so
I don't think so.
So yeah, he's super interesting. No way you get that. It'd be very funny to see what his odds end up going off at. But you got Blackadder at 15-1 on top. I'm going to go with the 2 Stolen Base. Okay, I guess I got to do it because I have to. It's part of the contract. I have to. It's part of the contract that we do this on every Derby prep, and we've done it all year. I'm not stopping now, even for this garbage race. Tiz the Bomb. Is he already in? No, he's not in. He's not in. I forgot the juvenile turf, not the juvenile. 1.5.
It'll be over because they made it a 100-point race.
But maybe some of these win and don't go because it's a synthetic dirt thing. You still think it's over?
It's over. If you're gonna go, why wouldn't you just go? You can go spin him around Churchill Downs, look cool.
Well, you fucking know Tiz the Bomb's going. That's not even beginning to be a question if he wins here and second even he'll go. That's not a doubt. So really, it would just take one more, and some of these, but like Tawny Port, if that horse were to win for Brad Cox, do you definitely feel like? That's a big. Tawny Port's a well-bred horses, they would try. You obviously thought the horse might be capable of running in the Risen Star last out, so wouldn't be, and Blackadder would go. There'd be no doubt about that.
Mm-hmm.
This horse has Messier on his resume. It wasn't great, but he does. On debut, he got waxed by Messier, but he was on there. So at one point they thought this horse $620,000 purchase price for SF Racing, Starlight, that whole group. So yeah, if they can get him in, his ass will be running. So there you go. I did it. That's the Jeff Fruby stakes.
Why did they do that? Why did they make this a 100-point race?
Because who owns Turfway?
I guess. But if you can't finish second in this race, do you really need to be in the Kentucky Derby? Good Lord.
The only thing that ever has came out of this race that has made a threat, or at least, Animal Kingdom.
Yeah.
But, went to Daywell, Black Onyx, We Miss Artie, Dubai Sky, Oscar nominated, Fast and Accurate, Blended Citizen, Some Like It Hot Brown, Field Pass, Like the King.
Yeah, like Kevin
did. Yeah.
Kevin was asked who ran in this race last year that people were giving a little buzz to in the Derby. It actually wasn't the winner. It was a runner-up, Sainthood.
Yeah.
Everybody kept talking. And hell, I even think Samich was talking about him. Finally, I'm like, what world do you live in? Like, how is he going to do anything in this race? It's like, oh, he's working out well. They all are working out well, right? Like, and I think, what did he do? Sainthood finished
11th.
11th in the Derby.
Yeah, he won. He went. So Sainthood, I just checked on him because I was like, I hadn't heard that horse in forever. Went out of that and won the Pennine Ridge on the turf, and then got 5th in the Belmont Derby. Not awful.
Mm-hmm.
And it hasn't been seen since, and it's not working. So I don't know where the horse is. So
yeah,
let's not ask.
Well, I think that Pennine Ridge too, that was the night it poured and they took all the races off the turf. I'm pretty sure that was that race. And so he won. He beat like 4 horses, if I remember right.
Yeah, you're right. A bunch scratched off of that. It was off the turf. Sainthood, the Reds.
That's right.
Shoddy, Safe Conduct, and Minuteman were the other 4 horses in the race. So
my goodness, I remember a few of those, and I hadn't heard those names in a while. Wow.
In the Kentucky Derby, Sainthood was like 8th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 11th. Just never really was a threat at all. So
yeah.
Yes. Sainthood. There you go. So yeah, it's not again, Animal Kingdom, that happened, and obviously Animal Kingdom, but you go back and look at what Animal Kingdom did after, of course, winning, and then what he, just won every, he's a great horse. So, I mean, obviously it takes an elite kind of talent in order to use that race to springboard you into winning the Kentucky Derby or really winning anything major after that. I mean, and that's the thing. It's they did such a good job of getting rid of, making it to where you earn points to the right races. Sprinters can't get in, that kind of thing. And then you throw this race in that's worth 100 points, and you're just like, really? Because that's at least like 2 garbage horses that are going to be in now.
Yeah. It's stupid. It's absolutely stupid. But I was puzzled. This should be a 50-point race. If you want to let the winner in, that's great.
Yeah, sure,
whatever.
Well, isn't the what is the Battaglia is
it's worth 10. 10
for 10.
Yeah.
What am I thinking of? The well, like the Sunland,
Yeah, 50 points.
It's a 50-point race. Like, do that.
Mm-hmm.
So then Andy wins Sunland Derby. Great. Who cares? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Do that for this race. Don't make it. Don't mix it in. Don't sneak it in there with the Florida Derby and the Arkansas Derby and the Wood and the Blue. We know. Don't do that. It's just bullshit. Anyways,
it is. Yeah.
But you gotta look at his opportunity as well. It's horses that you can hope are like Tiz the Bomb is the perfect scenario for us all because he will be bet, like you said, and we won't have to worry about him winning. So
Yep.
That's all right. That's all the time we have. Check us out at racingnews.com for our free picks and our premium selections on our products page. Click the Get Racing News Premium button on the menu at racingnews.com to learn more. Remember to go get your hands on that inside track to the 2022 Florida Derby wager guide, now available at racingnews.com. Again, all the stakes action at Gulfstream Park, all the races at Gulfstream Park, plus the Arkansas Derby, plus the fantasy, top 4 consensus picks, all of it there, racingnews.com. And by the way, if you're listening to this live, if you're listening to this after the fact, today, if it's tomorrow, Friday, you can get in on our exclusive Racing Dudes Tournament Challenge. Racing Dudes Premium subscribers can now compete against us. You will be in it. I'm in it. Samich is in it. You get Magic in there. Compete against us at horsetourneys.com. It's a bi-weekly thing. We're starting beginning April 1st, tomorrow, Friday, April 1st. You can prove yourself against us. $150 on the line for site credit as well as actual cash. It's a cash game. So you get in, you can play for cash. It's exclusive only to our premium subscribers. So if you are a premium subscriber currently, just go to your dashboard at the website at racingnews.com. Find the link, sign up, play against us tomorrow. We're doing the feature races that they include there at Horse Tourneys, the main feature races for Friday. So play along with us. If you're not a Racing Dudes Premium subscriber, I honestly can't think of a better time to be a subscriber. You get to be included in these tournaments. You get the wagering guides for free. We have, 6 guides, including the Florida Derby, coming up in the next month and a half, 2 months. So you get all those included for free when you are a premium subscriber, plus involved in these tournaments as well. So racingnews.com, be a subscriber. Now is the time to do so. Racingnews.com, we're your destination site for all free horse racing picks to all the major horse racing tracks. We're on Twitter at racing_dudes, Instagram and Facebook. Make sure you go follow us on all those because we will be, at least I will be, Halterman probably won't be, but live tweeting and such this weekend while we're at, it'll be good to be back at the track. It feels good. I mean,
like I said, I was at Will Rogers. I know what it's like to be at the track.
Yeah, it's the same thing, right? Same thing as the Arkansas Derby Day. We'll be at the Bluegrass too next weekend. So back-to-back weekends for the old dudes, and then of course we'll be at the Kentucky Derby, and it's on from there. So cannot wait to be there. Make sure you check out all Blinkers Off episodes at our podcast page at racenews.com, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, all those good channels you listen to, all your podcasts. Of course, you can watch all these episodes as well on our YouTube page. Go subscribe to our YouTube page. And you get alerted when we do another one of these videos or all our videos. We have tons of content out there. The Magic Mike Show, they aired earlier. Go check out their podcast. They do all the same channels as we do. A Saturday Gulfstream Park late pick 4. So you want the sequence there for that late pick 4, including of course the Florida Derby, Gulfstream Park Oaks. Go make sure you check out the Magic Mike Show. Halterman, final thoughts. I'll see you here here in 12 hours or so. Final thoughts.
Yeah, it's going to be a good weekend, everybody. Everybody have fun. We've talked a lot about these races, but there's a ton more. There's so many more stakes races going on this weekend as well. A lot of fun stuff. So yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah, Samich is excited for the tournaments, no doubts about that. And Jerry says, hey, the winners you listed of that race there at Turfway, the Jeff Ruby Stakes, there's some good horses. You're right. All of them were good turf horses. That's not what we were saying. We were saying
right.
They're not. It's not a Kentucky Derby prep. That's the problem with it. But yeah, Field Pass, unlike at Hot Brown, really, really nice turf horses for sure.
Yeah, the point is they become good turf horses.
Yep.
The turf is not a prep for the Kentucky Derby, and this is worth 100 points. The same amount of points for the winner of this race are given to the winner of the Florida Derby,
right? And the Wood,
and the Arkansas Derby, and the Wood,
Bluegrass,
in the Bluegrass. I mean. You can't compare it. You can't. So, hey, Bree's in.
Oh,
we know.
Bree.
We know.
All right.
We know Samich is in. So
yes,
he's already handicapping. So, he's the guy you got to beat. Everyone's gonna be eyeing Samich to beat. And I haven't seen what the latest is, but I mean it's a solid. I believe first place currently is close to $100 in cash, and then $150 on top of that in site credit at horse tourney. So you're talking $250. Not bad. For a tournament on a Friday. So we're gonna keep doing these bi-weekly, and hopefully this keeps getting bigger and bigger, and we'll see where it goes. But yeah, go challenges. If you think you're better than us, I think you're better than Halterman. Hate that guy. And most people love him. They hate me. So if you think you're better than me, come challenge me. Come challenge Samich. Is Dr. Miranda in there? I don't know if she's in.
I don't know. We'll find out when
she needs to get in.
Yeah. Kentucky Derby interview with the owner of White Barrio is now up on YouTube as well.
There you go.
Yeah.
Mike Samich talked
right.
to the owner of White Barrio. So if you want some more analysis of that horse and what they're thinking for him for this race, of course, and moving forward, go make sure you go to our YouTube page to yeah. I don't know who RIP Scott Hall is. It's the same guy that always changes his name, but I'm the heel, and I've learned to embrace it. That's what the good heels do.
Right.
You embrace it. You don't fight it. And we all have roles here at Racing Dudes. Magic tries to be a heel, but he's not. And I naturally am. So I embrace it. Thank you. All right. That's a wrap on the show. Make sure you go check us out on our YouTube page for more. Halterman, I'll see you in a couple hours.
Okay.
RacingDudes.com. We'll have the wagering guide available here in the next couple hours as well. I'm Jared Welch. He's Aaron Halterman. Oh, no. I never get the button ready. Good luck this weekend, guys.
This has been a presentation of RacingDudes.com, your destination for all things horse racing and sports betting. Whether you want free winners, expert insider picks, up-to-the-minute trackside weather reports, or podcasts and videos for bettors of all skill levels, never make another wager without visiting the Racing Dudes. First,